What is up, YouTube? Back with another YouTube video, and we're here with an Exodus Garden 2A Legend Lost Sector guide for Season of the Witch. Now, just to show you where you can find this, go to your destinations, go to the Cosmodrome right here, and then spawn on the steps. Then when you spawn here, you just gotta turn around, and there's gonna be this little, I don't want to say cave-like area, but like a complex, I guess you can call it. And you're gonna just go through this building here, and there is going to be some enemies, so just watch out for that. You can try to use your Sparrow, but I'm just not even going to try it because you're going to try to blow it up. But just skip all of these enemies and then make your way through here. If it's your first time, I can kind of see how it would be a little confusing just because of all the different pathways here and everything, but just follow along, and then we're going to go through here, and eventually you'll reach the Divide, which is going to be the second area. So you can see we're almost there. There we go. Now here you can use your Sparrow, just take that out and then go straight to your right. If you're here, there is this little public event type activity that happens with the walker tanks and stuff, so just try to avoid that so you don't get blown up. But you can see here, there is a Lost Sector icon, so you gotta jump on the bridge, and then when you jump up here, there's another Lost Sector icon, and then jump here. You can see another Lost Sector icon, and then if you don't see this flag here, I don't know why this is happening, but if you don't see this flag here or this icon on your map, that means you have to go through the Lost Sector normally and complete it to unlock Legend and Master difficulty. So if you drop here and you keep going through it, you will see the Exodus Garden 2A Lost Sector pop up. You can see another icon and another one right there. And this will show you where the enemies are. Then you start killing enemies, go towards the back of it, kill the boss, loot the chest at the end, and you'll unlock Legend and Master difficulty for this Lost Sector. Now, I could be wrong, but I think this is going to be the last one in the rotation, so if that is the case, then this is probably going to be one of the last Season of the Witch Lost Sector guides I will make, depending on, if the guides don't hold up, I definitely will come back this season and make new ones, but we'll see how that goes. But for our modifiers, we have shielded foes, you'll face combatants with void shields. We have legend modifiers, locked loadout, extra shields, equipment locked, limited revives, barrier and overload champions, void threat, 25% increase to incoming void damage, scorched earth, enemies throw grenades significantly more often, overcharged weapons. Weapon overcharges from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increase damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Strand Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Solar Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing solar damage. Overcharged Linear Fusion Rifle, 25% bonus to Linear Fusion Rifle damage. Then we have Enhancement Cores, uncommon if solo exotic chest armor is rare. And recommended power 1830, but 1810 and above you should be just fine. So now we're going to get into the loadout. So, Strand subclass, and we got Silk Strike with Marksman Dodge, Triple Jump, Threaded Spike, and Threadling Grenades. Then we have Widow Silk with Threaded Spectre. Then we have Thread of Generation, Thread of Evolution, Thread of Binding, and Thread of Continuity. Now for our main weapon, we have Malfeasance, which is our kinetic weapon, our do-it-all weapon. This will get a damage buff because we're running Strand subclass, so that's going to match an active surge, and that's going to increase our kinetic weapon damage. We're also going to use the Catalyst here, as you can see. I have it completed, so that gives us Vorpal weapon, which does increased damage against bosses, vehicles, and guardians if they're super active. All we care about is damage against bosses, and I believe champions count as bosses. I could be wrong, but champions I do believe take extra damage from Malfeasance as well. And we're also going to pair this with Lucky Pants, which it's going to give us increased accuracy and bonus damage. And we're also going to pair it with a Kinetic Weapon Surge, which is going to do increased damage when we pick up an Orb of Power. So Malfeasance is going to be getting a lot of buffs. One thing you're going to need is Overload Hand Cannon to be able to stun Overload champions, so keep that in mind. But our next weapon here is a Solar Auto Rifle. Doesn't matter which one, preferably a large magazine size. This one has 38, and I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest, at least the magazine size. It's a decent auto rifle, but I'm just not a fan of the magazine size. I wish it was more. You can see I have a backup mag, which unfortunately only makes it 38. But if you can have a larger magazine size, preferably just in case you do need to stun a barrier champion, that will be very reliable. But moving on from that, actually before we move on, we will need barrier auto rifle just to show you here, so we can break the barrier shields in case if we have to. But our heavy weapon, Circular Logic, Strand LMG, holds a lot of ammo, has hatchling, Hatchling is very easy to proc. You just need to get kills. Doesn't matter if they're precision kills or not. They'll just throw hatchlings, which will run around and get enemies for you. There's not anything you have to do. You don't have to reload, then get a kill. You don't have to dodge. It's just going to do it automatically. So keep that in mind. But when it comes to the armor, Ashes to Assets, Strand Siphon, and Kinetic Siphon on the helmet. Ashes to Assets, you gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. Strand Siphon, rapid strand weapon final blows create orbs of power. And then Kinetic Siphon, rapid kinetic weapon final blows create an orb of power. So we're going to be generating orbs with our kinetic weapon here. And then our strand weapon here will be generating orbs. Then for the arms, we have firepower. Your grenade final blows create an orb of power. Grenade kickstart, when your grenade energy is fully expended, you gain grenade energy. Then additionally, your armor charge is consumed and you gain additional grenade energy for each stack. Fastball, increases your grenade throw distance. And just to show you, fastball is not that important. I only have one slot available, and I just figured, you know what, it's there, might as well throw it on. And our threadling grenades, they're going to track enemies anyway, so it doesn't really matter where we throw the grenade, because the threadlings are always going to chase the enemies. But for chest armor, you can see here, I have my damage resistant mods. I have 1 arc, 2 void. If you want to switch it up and run something else, by all means go ahead, but that is completely up to you. Now, when it comes to the leg armor, we're running the exotic Lucky Pants, and this has a legally modded holster. Hand cannons ready faster and gain increased accuracy and bonus damage, so that's going to greatly benefit our Malfeasance. And then on top of that, we have Better Already. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an Orb of Power. And then Kinetic Weapon Surge. Your kinetic weapons gain a small bonus to what damage while you have any armor charge. And then same thing, but for strand weapons with Strand Weapon Surge. So again, strand weapon is circular logic. If we pick up an Orb of Power, we're going to get a bonus for our strand weapon damage and a bonus for our kinetic weapon damage with Malfeasance. And there is a gameplay thing that I do want to note when it comes to Lucky Pants. So let's say there's a barrier champion in front of me or an overload champion. I'm going to stow my hand cannon, and you might get a debuff called Out of Luck. If you get that, just wait like 6 seconds until it goes away. And then keep your auto rifle or your LMG in your hands. Then once that debuff goes away, you can switch to Malfeasance, immediately stun the champion, and just hit a bunch of crits, and you can instantly just get rid of the champion without having to worry too much about missing shots, or if there's a barrier champion for them to bring up their shield or whatever. As long as you're just melting the champions, you should be fine. But there is kind of a gameplay aspect to it that I will mention during the gameplay, so just stay tuned for that. But when it comes to the cloak, we have 2 time dilation mods. Your decaying armor charge has a longer duration, and then Bomber, which reduces grenade cooldowns when using your class ability. Now, when it comes to the artifact, like I said, you do need anti-barrier auto rifle to break barrier shields just in case, and then overload hand cannon to stun overload champions. And then you can run the tangle perk here, but it's completely up to you. If you're not running strand and you're running something else, then it's not going to be that useful, but just keep that in mind when it comes to an additional perk that you might want to run. So with that being said, we're going to get straight into the gameplay. So we're spawning into the Lost Sector, and you can see right off the bat, you're going to have like this little locked off room. You're going to have 2 Shanks and 1 Servitor. I'm just using my LMG to do damage here. The Servitor does have a good amount of health. You can use Malfeasance, but I'm just readying my hand cannon for when the barrier champion is going to spawn. So you can see I generate tangles, and I'm going to take one and pretty much just use it for extra damage here. You can clear out this room here with your threadling grenades, and then just use your LMG as well. And on your right side here, you are going to the barrier champion. You can see I'm put my decoy, switch to Malfeasance, and just hit all crits. And you don't even have to worry about stunning the champion. As you can see, the Malfeasance will instantly do that. And that's kind of the gameplay loop that I was talking about in the loadout. But you're going to see it once more when this overload champion spawns. I'm going to give it some time. You can see Out of Luck just ran out. I'll point it out again next time it pops up on the screen. But you can see I can see the little effect the overload has, that little visual effect. So I'm trying to wait for it. You can see it's there. Switch to Malfeasance. I can get the damage boost up to ×10 and instantly get the kill and not have to worry about it anymore. Now, from this point forward, you're just going to have AI until you reach the end of this, I guess, hallway I'm going to call it, even though it's not really a hallway. When you get here, get in between these cargo containers and instantly shoot these Shanks. They're going to be really annoying if you don't get rid of them, but there's only 3. And also try to take out that sniper, Randall, Vandal, whatever they call him over there. but he's pretty annoying, and if you don't get rid of him early, he's just going to keep sniping at you. So you can see I waited for him to peek it. Then there's our next overload, and you're going to see in a couple seconds I ready my Malfeasance, I stun him, and I did tank a bunch of damage there, but I just wanted to get rid of that overload, because if you don't, the barrier champion that spawns here is going to make the overload immune. Now you can see I tried to put a decoy here and then just spam light attack on the barrier servitor, and unfortunately it didn't work. You can see I almost had him, so I just went for ad clear and I tried to do some extra damage here. I did get a good half health bar right there, but you can see I'm pretty much just using my auto rifle now to try to stun and then use Malfeasance, or I just used the LMG apparently. But you can see I got it right there. There are going to be explosive shanks. There's going to be like 10 of them, I think, so just be careful. As soon as you get that kill on the barrier champion, or if you do half health like me, immediately run towards the back. That way you don't get blown up by all those explosive shanks. But you can see at that point all you have left is a servitor here, and we can just get rid of him. Even though he has that big health bar, we don't have to worry too much about it. And you can see the LMG is doing perfectly fine. We have more than enough ammo. And when you get here, this is the boss room. And just to show you how good Malfeasance is, you can see I did miss some shots because the boss kept moving. But you can see I almost one-phased the boss there without, you know, having to use a super. That was strictly Malfeasance with the buffs and everything. But you can see on the left side, Out of Luck is going to run out. And I'm just going to switch back to Malfeasance. And I was just mainly worried about these other servitors. But this is the boss room. There's no more champions after this. All you have to do is just worry about these ads. They are doing arc damage, and the servitors are doing void, and since it's a void burn, they are going to take increased void damage, so that's why I'm sitting back here and not exactly running at these servitors. But you can see I 3-hit melee a red hellfire enemy, which is crazy, but you know, we move on from that. Here's the servitors. Get rid of the boss servitor right here, and you can see here Strand Super really isn't that useful for the boss, just because, you know, he's in the air or he's flying around. You can't really hit him too many times. That's why I opted to use it prior to entering this room. That way we can get rid of all those AI faster. As you can see, we're 4 minutes in right now, and I'm gonna open the chest. And just do be careful. I'm pretty sure you don't have to kill these enemies here, but I figured, you know what, I got it done pretty quickly. Might as well just use a super that I got back and get rid of them. But that's gonna do it. So I do want to note, if the Malfeasance ends up getting nerfed, it hasn't yet, and it's, you know, Crota's End raid just came out. The reprised raid came out today, so it wasn't disabled in PvE. However, it is disabled in the raid. If it does get patched later on, I will probably make updated Lost Sector videos, but if it doesn't, this might do it for the season. So if you found this useful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell so you don't miss another video. Drop a follow on my Twitch, twitch.tv/MonkishJM0. We'll be going live later on today, probably playing Apex. But yeah, that's going to do it for the season of the Witch Lost Sector guides, I believe. And a playlist with all of them will be popping up on screen right now. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.